Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the series Behind Enemy Lines, where I, a Saints fan, talk to fans of the Saints opponents. And this week, we have very well known Drake Nugent lover and 49ers fan, Big K.
Yeah, typical fashion. I'm not a real 49ers fan, but in Big K fashion, there's a guy on this team I am in love with.
Mm-hmm,
Pause, because I know him. But there's a guy I'm like insanely like he was my center one high
mm-hmm.
on. So this might be
There
the
wasn't very
easy.
many centers in this draft class, was there?
And no, and I was also one. I was also I think considered a weird one who had him as high as I did.
Uh, it's all
But
good.
he is just he. I find him amazing.
Oh yeah. Um, let's talk about last week before we get into anything. The Saints won their preseason game. A lot of things look good, a lot of things look bad, and I talked about all that in my one of my previous videos. So go check that out if you haven't already. Also, I thought Spencer Rattler looked really good. Especially when he needed to most. His first drive was surgical. The game-winning drive in the game was pretty good. Starting offense, it's a lot of work to do. I don't think they did as well, and I don't think Derek Carr is going to be anywhere near um, anywhere near safe with Trevor Penning at right tackle and a bunch of other little mishaps that gotta get fixed very soon, or else there's no shot at all. So, moving on to this week, we're taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Now,
Yeah,
there was supposed to be joint practices, but the 49ers are apparently really injured,
they're
and
hurting.
they didn't have enough bodies to uh make the practices go on. So um
The,
practices were canceled, which I think is a blessing in disguise for the Saints, but also like a really bad thing because if you're gonna get any better offensively, you're gonna have to go up against some of the best defensive talent in the entire league, and the 49ers got that, and you don't really know what you have until you're putting it all on the line.
yeah.
Um, so I mean, it's still an unknown. This team could go out in the regular season and do great, but that joint practice would have really helped. See where they're at, give a baseline. Because
Oh,
again,
no
even
doubt.
last week it was against the second string defense for the Cardinals. So,
Yeah.
um, all right, starting with um, starting with training camp. What's the 49ers training camp look like for?
It's controversy, controversy, and some more controversy. I think
Hmm,
any NFL fan knows what's the focal point of training camp has been, and that's been
mhm.
a guy by the name of Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
Like, he has very much made this a him situation. I don't know what ended up if we've gotten someone to officially sign.
Mhm.
Has there been wood? I haven't seen. There's no. I know he hasn't been traded.
Mm-mm.
Has his contract been extended at least?
Mm-mm.
So, and
Not
it
much
depends on
time left.
who you ask. Like, obviously McCaffrey had the former teammate comment on accident. Ayuk said today he
What do you mean
thinks
by
he's
that?
gonna.
Former teammate. Oh, about you?
Yeah, he said that about Ayuk on accident.
Mmm.
But that a week ago. But then Debo today's like, I think he'll be a part of the team. So I think it's very much a who do you ask. I don't think McCaffrey meant it that way one bit
Yeah.
because that's not how McCaffrey really rolls.
I don't know. A very interesting situation. I think I could end up staying a 49er, and I think that Niners will give him the extension that he's looking for? Maybe, and if not, I mean, hell, I think seeing him somewhere like Pittsburgh would be fun. Even Washington would be fun. New England just don't want to go for that no more. They they traded Judon. I'm pretty sure like New England has absolutely like no belief in this year's roster, which I mean that's fair play to them because it takes a lot to sit there and say you're not going to do good. So I would take New England out of the IU race. I would probably leave it up to Pittsburgh, even though they're kind of falling out a little bit, and then maybe Washington just because Jaden Daniels and Brandon Ayuk were teammates at ASU for 1 year.
Yeah.
Arizona State, not LSU, my bad. So I agree with that. It's a lot of controversy. And on the Saints side, it's not much different than last week. It's just more injuries piling up. I mean, and then a lot of things, a lot of nitpicking from the fan base, and I'm one of them because after the performance from Trevor Penning last week, I feel like you got to be like rushing for a new right tackle because I don't even remember the guy's name from Arizona that just completely destroyed him that whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor Penning made that second string edge rusher look like Myles Garrett. So Trevor Penning's got to go soon, whether it be someone in the building, like Ollie Udo, who's I'm sure to be somewhat better than Trevor Penning, or someone that you could, trade for like Larry Borum from the Bears or somebody that would help you out. And they're just not budging. I don't know if it's a stubborn thing or I don't know if it's uh they're still holding out hope or I don't know. So training camp has been pretty much the same. More injuries have been stacking up, and I've very much tried to, keep my optimism high, but also realize and remember that no matter what happens in practices and in the games, or no matter what happens in practices, the games are going to be so much different.
Yeah.
Because I've heard all week, Derek Carr has another good day in practice. Derek Carr went 11 for 11 in team today. And then Sunday, if he starts again, which by the way, you got to have him start. I mean, if you're going to install a system, you got to give them a lot more time than just 2 series to get it in there. And also, if you're gonna make that offensive line work, you gotta give him time with that offensive line. So
yeah,
um,
I think the issue here is, and that's why, I always say play your starters in preseason. Is you can't replicate game speed in practice.
mm-mm.
To me, the biggest thing is it's a sin in football to touch the quarterback
Yeah,
in practice,
Mhm.
which really affects you guys considering your biggest issue is your quarterback gets touched a lot.
yeah,
Pause.
yeah.
Pause.
But
you can't replicate the Trevor Penn, the end's going 100% because you can't hit him.
Yeah, and I don't know how to gauge how good Chase Young or Paul Granderson have been doing because they've been going up against Trevor Penning a lot, and they've been beating Trevor Penning a lot. And that's Trevor Penning, like there's so many. I'm not going to say so many. Every right tackle in the league is better than Trevor Penning. I'm sure Trevor Penning's at the very bottom of that right tackle list. Everybody is better. So I don't know. I take everything with a grain of salt. I think Derek Carr is fucked when it comes to his health this year. And that's why I'm saying, hey, Spencer Rattler, I need to see how good you can do because you're probably going to be QB2. Jake Hainer may be as well. Because I guarantee you there's going to be times sometime this season where they're going to play. Just because of
Yes.
Derek Carr is already an injured quarterback. Last year, he dealt with 2 concussions in 3 weeks, multiple shoulder injuries. And I imagine, with age, that's probably sticking with you a little bit. And he's going to get hit a lot. So,
Yeah. He's not going to be a healthy QB.
No, he's going to look like that one picture of a wear and tear system in College Football 25 where your whole body is just red.
Yeah.
The only thing he doesn't have is CTE, which he could very well have CTE.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The player-wise, this will be a lot more. I can go more into. Actually, I'll save this for position battles. I'll save that for when we get to position battles.
Okay. Well, while we're on the topic of injuries, we're gonna bring up some injuries, the injury report, and if anything stands out to you at all. So over here on the 49ers side, I'm going to keep it from...
I'm pulling this shit up myself because...
Yeah. I'm just going to keep on the screen what's happened since August 10th.
So, I will start off at the very bottom.
Okay.
Greenlaw's been placed because of his Achilles. He's been on the PUP list.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Williams is healthy. Contract negotiations.
Holding out, yeah.
Which we expected as well. He deserves everything he's asking for.
For sure.
Spencer Butler I'll be straight with you. He's gonna get punished for this shit. In a way, not because he got hurt, but because this is a offensive line that's like, hey, the only thing we know is who our starting left tackle is once we get his contract settled, and we most likely know who our starting right tackle is.
Right.
Everything else is up in the air right now. And he's losing reps to possibly secure a spot. I mean, right now, he can't even be listed on here. He might not even be on the team anymore, for all I know. No, he still is, sorry. But he's a 4th-round pick, I think, this year.
Right.
Like, you can't afford that. You can easily get cut. Isaac Garando, sidelined multiple weeks.
Oh my God, I love Isaac Garando, man. Fuck.
Once again, a guy who could get hurt by this because he could lose his roster spot. They're going to take 3 running backs.
Yeah.
And we know who 2 of them are.
Yeah, CMC and Elijah Mitchell. I don't know who the other one is.
It's either going to be Jordan Mason or him. Jordan Mason has been healthy. He's been healthy. Okay. Fred Warner just missed a practice. Elijah Mitchell played in preseason.
Right.
Thomas,
actually, it says he didn't play in preseason. But
he didn't?
It says he's not expected to play in the preseason.
Oh, it said not expected. But he'll be fine. This has been a team that's been injured. Like Ambry Thomas had to get forearm injury. Hufanga still working on getting ready to be here for week 1 after his injury last year. Feliciano got injured during the preseason game.
Right.
I think it was during the preseason game at least. And there's a guy who, once again, could lose his spot due to an injury. He's one of those guys who he's not starting right now. He has a chance to start. Actually, is he listed as the starter?
Who's that?
No, he's not. Feliciano's not even listed as the starter. You're losing valuable reps to some of these guys. Because there's been some guys here who have been balling. And I will say, I am looking at the list that ESPN has for the depth chart, and they are missing a big-ass name.
And that is?
I'm making sure I'm not, tripping. Real quick. Because his name's this, right? Do you know? Why is he not on here? Okay, I'm going to have to pull up a different depth chart. No, because there's a guy who there's one guy who, if they're gonna start a rookie, it's probably him.
Hmm.
Okay, here's a better one. Oh, never mind. Grando. It's gonna be tough for Grando still with his injury. He's a guy who he's fighting for a roster spot.
I don't think he's fighting for a roster spot.
Sorry, he's fighting for his role as the first backup, or he could end up being a rotational guy. The
That's
spots.
fair. Man, I love Isaac Grando, bro. I hope he does well. Shout out to Ville. Let's go, chat.
I mean, Kalali Davis, knee injury. Frankie Darby, but that says he's on the injured list for the 49ers. McCaffrey's McCaffrey. Who gives a fuck if he misses the practice?
Getting closer to a return according to ESPN, so that's good for him.
Aaron Banks broke his pinky, and he's right now the starting left guard. So he might miss week 1 because of it. Ricky Purcell, they're hopeful he's here for week 1.
Ricky Pearsall, yeah.
Yeah. Ben Butts is injured right now, but they hope he's not missing much time. But this is a team that has been just injured. Injured.
Yeah. Well,
that took a solid 6 minutes to just go through the injuries for one team.
Yeah, well, guess what? You thought it stopped there? Guess what team is still injured?
Who?
The other team that we're talking about today, the New Orleans Saints. They're still injured, and I feel like their injuries get as significant as it gets. Because, I said I'm going to keep it to what's happened this past week. I could still probably name more people than you named off the entire injury list.
But they also don't have everyone listed on the injury list because apparently they have 30 people who are injured.
Well, here we go. Isaiah Stallbird, questionable. I don't know what's going on with him. To be completely honest with you, I don't think he even makes the roster. Moving on. Miller Bradford. He actually did pretty decent in the preseason game last week. I had him making the roster in one of the articles I wrote. So that, I don't know if that's going to affect it. I don't even know how long he's out for, so we'll see. Mac McCain III, absent from practice Sunday. I still don't know. Moving on to Equanimous St. Brown, the most hated man in New Orleans. Participated at wearing a red non-contact jersey. I don't know if this affects him as much because he's going to make the roster mostly because of the help he'll bring to special teams, and not only that, the blocking ability that he has in the run game. And I know that Kubiak values that very much, and that's the entire reason he was brought in. He's our new version of Lynn Bowden, or he's the Saints version of Juwan Jennings, if we want to go that far. Demario Davis, he's more being kept out as a precautionary thing. A lot of these guys that I'm about to mention are staying out because of precautionary things, because they're kind of already guaranteed their spot and they want to be healthy for week 1. Lattimore's getting better. He's practiced a little bit more over the last few days, and he's working on the sideline a lot now. Same with Pete Werner. He's also getting better. I think that he may have been injured a little bit before too. Jalen Ford, he left practice Wednesday due to a hamstring injury. I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't heard too much about it. Kendra Miller is still out, and Dennis Allen is still giving him shit, saying that it's challenging and hasn't gotten easier for the running back to make the team without practicing. Even though he was your 4th-round draft pick and your 3rd-round draft pick, and you're probably 3rd-string running back that is better than Jordan Mims. A.T. Perry practiced. He was limited. I think he'll be okay. I'm sure he'll play this week for preseason. Again, going back to the training camp thing, he is he's one of those guys that doesn't practice as well as he plays. He plays really well. At least Fuaga has a back injury, and he should be able to go week 1. But it's going to be, kind of hurtful not having him in the preseason because he still needs to get used to his new spot. And then Alvin Kamara is sidelined at practice today, technically Friday when we're filming this. So, yeah, I think he's all right too. I also think I think it's just like a precautionary thing for him as well. So, yeah, there's that. Injuries, still a big part of this. Still a big part of this series, talking about injuries. Anyway, moving forward to let's talk about breakout candidates. Who do you see? I already know you're going to talk about. You could yap for the next 20 minutes about Drake Nugent.
So is this breakout candidates? Because this. Okay, so I'm gonna do a different one because I think my yap for fuck it. The more Drake Nugent, the better. It's Drake fucking Nugent.
Do one for the game. Do one for
Oh yeah,
the season if you want to.
Drake Nugent, dude. I was probably the highest person on Drake Nugent outside of one other guy I know, and that's the guy who trained Drake. But like, if you want to talk about someone you want on your team, I'm gonna go because I know Drake. It's one of those. I know him. We train in the same gym. I think if you said my name to him, he'd be like, "I don't remember that fucker." To be fair, it's also been I think like 8-7 years now since he seen me. This doesn't help, but he's a leader, dude. He can lead a locker room. He can lead a group of men to something not a lot of people can do. First off, that is something that people very much underestimate, and something every team needs from their centers. Their center needs to be someone who can lead. If we want to talk about some of the best centers in the league, Frank Ragnow is a known leader. Jason Kelce, we know damn well he was a leader.
Yep.
Those were two of the best. Creed Humphrey, I'm willing to guess he's a fucking leader.
Yeah.
Eric McCoy is probably the leader on your guys' own line.
Yep. 100%.
The center is the leader of your troops. 49ers, it's a little different because you have the.
I don't know if my mic picked up that burp.
Your left tackle here, that's the leader of your fucking group. You have the best left tackle we've seen in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's the leader. He's the leader of the troops. He's also 34 years old. How much football does he have left? He's not on the team. Well, I'm not going to doubt that guys like Jack Brendel and Ben Bartz are not leaders. I'm not going to doubt that. Ben Bartz drinks a weird-ass smoothie, though, so I don't know. Do you remember his smoothie?
Mm-mm.
You don't?
No, I know what you're talking about, though. It was the
let me read you off his smoothie.
It was the NFL like rookie.
NFL made a thing about it.
Yeah, it was some weird ass shit. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I remember he got flamed in the TikTok comments for it.
It's grits, bananas, peanut butter, scrambled eggs with Gatorade.
What kind of fucking smoothie is that, dog? What?
It's how because he had to put on weight. He had to put on weight during college. That's what he used.
Okay.
But like Drake Nugent as a leader in himself, granted he's a rookie right now. Your rookies are not gonna lead most of the time. They're walking into a fucking NFL locker room. They're getting a feel out. But you want a guy who you know is gonna be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your guy. And that's just him from a locker room standpoint. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's a guy who you will not have issues from outside of the locker room. There's a lot of rookies who it's like, how are they outside the locker room? This is a guy I will guarantee you'll never have an issue. He's respectful, he's kind. he was like that in fucking high school. And high school tells a lot more about a character than when you get to the pros.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that's when you're like a
Like-
fucking
Like he was
piece of
the
shit
best.
kid.
He was the best. He was one of the 5 best linemen in Colorado. He was getting all this hype. He was one of the few Colorado kids at the time getting P5 offers.
Yep.
He was still the nicest, kindest dude I've met. Which it speaks a lot to his character as well.
Mhm.
But obviously, character alone doesn't get you in the league. Otherwise, I'd be in the league right now.
Yeah, you'd be in the league.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But as far as how he plays, he's just so damn good.
Mhm.
I mean, during preseason, he played both left guard and center.
Oh,
I think his left guard reps were better,
okay.
honestly. But he's also a guy who he's going to be able to move. He's going to be able to play either of your guard positions or your center position at a decent level. As a rookie, he may not be the best because it's a whole different game. It's a whole different level of athletes. It's a whole different level of strength you're playing against.
Right.
That's going to be adjustment. He's a smaller center right now. He's going to need to be in the late room. I don't think he's a guy who should start this year.
Okay.
I think if he did, you're not going to ever lose a game out from him. And honestly, you're probably going to be better off with him than the other guy. But if you want someone who has the ability to play at a high level, with the 49ers scheme, Drake may not be the guy year one, or at least right away, as he adjusts to the different level of strength. Because Drake's best thing is he doesn't lose ground. He will not lose ground on the block. He will, at worst, it's neutral. You're staying there, running back and move around me. You're not going to see him get driven back 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You're not going to see him instantly lose a block. That's what you get from him at center. Plus, you get mobility. He can pull great from that center's position. Another guy we know who is a little undersized and was a great puller from the center, played for 13 years, was a late-round pick, and is considered the best center we've had in the last 7 years, and that's Jason Kelce. So, just going to say, he was my draft comp for him. Because dudes will also get down and dirty with him. But with his reps at guard, dude, his guard reps were so good. He didn't lose a single rep. He was pulling, he was driving people, he was creating holes. The only rep I didn't like from him is they called a Richie, which is a 4-man slide right. Left tackle stays man on man.
Okay.
Yeah, flexing football knowledge, bitch. But he let his eyes abandon because the D line ended up running a the D line slanted left outside of the D end to open up a blitzing lane for the linebacker, and he could have kept his eyes open for that because that would have helped a lot more, I think.
Right.
But then the day they called Richie, so he was gonna. No, it's not. I think it is Richie. It's 4-man slide. I'm gonna say it is. I'm actually fact checking this. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's Richie's 4-man. I'm not even.
Okay.
It's Richie and Louis.
Okay.
But it's just what they do he does is so well. Pass pro, he's great. He's not going to really lose many reps. He's not going to dominantly win reps, but at that center position, you're not expecting dominant wins.
Right.
You're just expecting them not to get driven back 3 or 4 yards and into your quarterback slap. I'm going to cut my Drake Nugent spiel off there because it's going to come back up considering we have to talk position battles.
Okay.
And he's one of the guys who's in a position battle. If we want to go someone who's not Drake Nugent breakouts, though, I think the guy has to be We'll throw out, honestly. I want to throw out someone who could win a position battle, too. In his return against the Saints, Isaac Yadam.
You want to know what? You want to know something?
Huh.
I'm with that. I agree with that.
Yadam is in a position where he could, work his way into playing time. He might be the corner 4 right now.
Yeah, Isaac Yadam is fucking insane. I love him.
And, he's corner 4, corner 5 right now. He could work his way to being the solidified corner 4. I don't know if you're really going to get to that corner 3 status with Lenore and Ward both ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
But the key thing is your right cornerback and your nickel back's the same player as of now.
Yeah,
it means one of those 2 spots is open.
I'm going to be honest. If either of them ever go down and Yadam ever has to come in, he'll play solid. I don't usually say this a lot about like anybody ever, or I don't usually say this a lot about anything from Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is very good at developing DBs, and I think that Yadam really revived his career coming to New Orleans in a way.
He definitely did.
He stood up, he stood out, showed out when Lat was out, and he was like the second outside corner. So
he's definitely revived his career. Because do you remember what team he was on?
The Broncos.
Yeah. Do you remember who actually no, we didn't even know each other then. Do you know who I was always saying one cornerback's name. And if you're saying a cornerback's name, it's like saying if you're ever talking about your fucking tackle, you can talk about him after the game. But it's always a, man, we're doing a good job stopping Nick Bosa. It's never, man, Tyrese Hufanga is doing a great job blocking Nick Bosa. It's the same thing at corner. Man, Justin Jefferson fucking sucks. It's always that. It's never, man, Isaac Yadam's playing elite defense right now.
Yeah.
And I think I said Yadam's name 5 or 6 times a game. He played in 8 games.
I remember you used to tell me that.
Yadam might have been my least favorite Bronco.
You told me that in 2 or 3 Behind Enemy Lines episode.
Yes.
And you were like, Yadam is going to get picked on. I'm like, watch.
Yes.
You're right. He had his moments, but
when Yadam is good, Yadam is good. His rookie year, Yadam was good. It's his second year was when he always just I have a roster spot. I'm gonna go pick some flowers.
I've already talked about the breakout players for the season for me. It's always going to be Rashid Shaheed. The other one's Brian Brzee. But for this specific game, gotta give him another shout. I don't think I said his name last week, but during the live stream, I said his name a lot. And you're usually every time you say a corner's name, it's not usually a good thing. Last week, it was a good thing for me. My guy Rico Payton. He is according to ESPN, he is the second outside corner, the second left corner behind Adebo, which would make him CB4, I think, or something like that. I don't know. He was either CB4 or CB6, something like that. Anyway, he played a damn good game last week, and I would bet fat stack of cash that he's going to do it again. He had 3 really good plays, 3 really good pass deflections. One was on a 4th and 2 that gave, I believe that was the drive that gave Spencer Rattler a touchdown, I want to say. And the one after that was on a 4th and 2 where he played through the catch, stripped the ball out of the receiver's hands, never gave up on the play. And that's something on film that I guarantee you everyone appreciates is a guy like that. And then the last one was on the Hail Mary at the end of the game. So Rico Payton's bound for another big game, hopefully.
He better be.
And then my other one. You know what? I'm gonna give my other one to my GOAT Bub Means because he's back now. He's gonna play. I'll give it to him. Bub Means is gonna. I've not seen literally anything from this guy ever. I just feel like he's gonna be one of those preseason standouts this week. I have
They'll just
absolutely no reason to believe it, but
go straight up saying, "I got a feeling." Ooh, ooh.
yeah,
Bug Means is gonna ball out.
I hope so. But moving on from the breakouts, we're gonna go into the what's at stake, which that I wrote it as what's at stake, but like by that I mean what jobs are on the line, who's fighting for their roster spot, and who's fighting for a starting spot, yada yada. What's going on for the Niners?
No, I'm gonna let you go so we get a bit more of a Jake Nugent pause.
Okay.
Unless you want another like 5 minutes of Drake Nugent.
No, you'll get your extra minutes of Jake Nugent. I'll just go ahead and go. All right. For the Saints, I see QB2 battle is still going strong. I personally have Spencer Rattler doing a little bit better than Jake Haener. Not by a wide margin, but I do have Spencer Rattler as QB2 right now. I think Haener's still doing a really good job, but I think Rattler's taking that. Not only that, I feel like something that's not out there yet, but something that could very well open up soon is the right tackle job because god damn it, Trevor Penning is ass. And I know last season especially they benched Trevor Penning at left tackle and they're giving him a shot now. But if they don't, figure something out soon, the season's gonna be cooked. So I think you give Oliudo a try at right tackle, see if he does any better. I don't even know if because he ran with the ones today. I don't at right tackle, I think, or left tackle. One or the other. I think that he's gotta you gotta find a way to get Trevor Penning out of there because he's not gonna be the one.
Yeah.
Then we have left guard. Lucas Patrick did decent last game. And we have Nick Salderberry, who's I think currently the left guard number 2. And he's literally never played a snap in the NFL before, so this is his second year and we need to figure out what's going on there. Personally, I think Lucas Patrick is winning that just because he's available, he's a veteran, yada yada. Tight end 1, I said this in an article I wrote. I think that tight end 1 is up for grabs. Or not up for grabs, but I think tight end 1 is going to be stolen by Dalen Holker because Dalen Holker's done incredible in camp and he's put up some good numbers in preseason week 1 as well. I think Juwan Johnson's going to be out in for week 1 and Dalen Holker's going to prove something. So I think tight end 1 goes to Dalen Holker. Anything else? Defensive end, I don't know who's going to start, whether it be Carl Granderson or Chase Young, but either way, you have a pretty good rotation out of those two. I think I saw something where Cam Jordan was playing snaps on the inside, so that would actually be a lot better for him. Willie Gay did really good last week. Him and Pete Werner in competition, I think, a little bit as well. But they're both really good players, and I am rooting for no matter who gets that, it's going to be a damn good linebacker core. Let's see, the nickel battle's doing pretty. The nickel battle is they're doing their thing. Alante and Kool-Aid are both showing out. I think Alante's going to win that, especially because of his experience in the team. And, I feel like Kool-Aid would be better on the outside in case someone went down.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's it. Oh, and then the kicker battle. I think Blake Groupie is winning that, sadly. I really love Charlie Smith, though. For his first kick ever in an American football game ever, he had a game winner. So a lot of potential there. He's got a big leg. I hope that he wins the job because I'm not a Blake. I am no longer a groupie. I'm no longer a member of Groupies. So yeah.
What?
What?
That's
That
a
was
war
his-
crime. No.
That was his fan club.
No. You are gonna stay a groupie.
No, why?
I'm gonna be a groupie with the groupers.
Oh. What do you mean by that?
I am a groupie grouper.
That's not the term. It's a groupie. Groupie's groupie.
I'm that.
I'm not a groupie anymore.
And we're not friends anymore.
Okay, we can end this recording right now. All right. Anyway, yeah. Go on your Drake
I'm
Nugent
waiting.
tangent.
I'm waiting.
Go on your Drake Nugent tangent, my guy.
So there's, like I said, there's really only 4 position battles up for grabs. Like, let's be real here. It's the fucking 49ers at the end of the day.
Yeah,
We know who the quarterback is. We
Yep.
know who receiver 1 is, or receiver 1/receiver 2. If Ayuk plays, we know who the other one of those 2 are. Receiver 3 is gonna either be Juwan Jennings or Ricky Purcell. Or Purcell. Like, it is very clear today. Hey, offense, running backs McCaffrey, backups Elijah Mitchell. Defense, we know who our corner 1 is. We know who our corner 2 is. We know our middle linebacker is Fred Warner. We know when he gets healthy, our other off-ball line, one of our 2 outside linebackers is Dre Greenlaw.
Okay.
Like, there's portions of it where it's like, yeah, like we know the other one is probably going to be Devondre Campbell. We know Nick Bosa is starting. We know Hargrave starting. We know Malik Collins is going to start. We know Leonard Ford's going to be the other end. Like, a lot of this is elementary.
Okay.
Strong safety, when Hufunga's healthy, that's who your strong safety is.
Mm-hmm.
Your kicker, we know who your kicker is. It's Smoody. You're having a punting battle, which I'm guessing they could be a team that keeps both of them. Honestly, because they both have different skill sets. And a team would pick up the other. It's just more, what would you rather have? Would you rather have the guy who's going to put it in a more exact location, or a guy who's a just athletic monster who can punt the ball 80 yards? If I'm the 49ers, I want the guy who can put it in a specific spot. Because you're the fucking 49ers still.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Moving on.
Whoa.
My bad. Do your thing.
Dude does not want to go off about my interior offensive lineman, Rose.
Do your thing.
Bro does not want me to talk about Drake Nugent.
Go ahead. Do your thing, boss.
Bro does not want me to talk about Dominic Pooney. Yeah,
Who?
You don't know Dominic Pooney.
Who the fuck is Dominic Pooney?
You know who the fuck that is?
No.
The 49ers have a huge thing about not starting rookie offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also why I said I don't think Nugent will start this year. Nugent's also still fighting for his roster spot, to be fair.
Okay.
Pooney is the first guy guys are like, you know what? It may be time to break this rule. Pooney has been a baller, shot caller.
Mm.
Is it Tuesday afternoon? Because that boy's a caller.
Mm.
I'm dropping bars. Psych. Nothing to be found here. Bunch of big dudes. That did not rhyme. So I'm going to kill myself.
Anyway.
But so Pooney has been the highlight of the offensive lineman of the rookie class. This has been also just a great rookie class for the 49ers. That's not talked about enough.
Right.
But if you look at it, Pooney's right now, I think he's on the depth chart. The third string right guard behind Feliciano and the current starter in Burford.
Mm-hmm.
As we talked about, guess who are the two guys who are injured right now?
Who?
Spencer Burford and John Felicio. Who's getting the opportunity to take that right guard spot?
Pooney.
Pooney. Do you know what helps you when it comes to earning a spot as a starter?
What's that?
Having the best middle linebacker in football in a press conference say that Pooney guy can play.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the roster. Let me find this guy again. Go ahead, keep shooting.
It's Dominic Pooney.
Okay. I see. All right, carry on.
A dog. And like he's, and this is a guy I wish I watched more film on now if he's this good apparently.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'6", he's 290, I think is what I saw. It's either 290 or 310. Bro's going to be a big ass guard. But they're fine with a
6'5", 313.
Close enough. Bro's a big guard, but Bro's a baller too.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, would you rather take the bigger guard if it's a baller? Yes.
Yes.
But right now, that's the right guard battle. Now, the left guard battle, Aaron Banks is probably going to win it. Let's be real here. Aaron Banks has been the starter there. I think Aaron Banks is an all-right starter. He won't lose you games, but it's your interior offensive linemen do. But at that center position, it's a war. You have the veteran, you have young guys, you have someone put it the best. It's if you want to go with the experience, you just roll with Brendel. Ben Butts apparently hasn't really been in this battle. He's listed in it. He's the name I didn't see. It was if you want to go with the guy with the major upside who could play at the highest level but also could be worse than Brendel, you go with the guy who played great Michigan great football at Michigan and just roll with Nugent. Because you're going to get solid play from him and could get all the way up to an upper side player from him. And he could be a top 20 center in the NFL. And as a rookie, that would be great because it's real rookies are top 20 in that position, unless your name's like Tristan fucking Wirfs or Penei Sewell or one of those freaking nature tackles who just decide to be like, hey, I'm already elite. Then we look at guys like I don't remember the other one they said. There's a guy who played with Purdy, who they're like potential wise, he probably has the best potential, but he also probably has the lowest low.
What do you mean by that?
As in, he could end up being the best of the three easily.
Right.
He could also be the worst of the three easily.
Okay.
And you just don't know what you're going to get yet. Which is fair.
Fair.
Which is very valid.
All right, are you done with your Drake Nugent rant or venting or whatever you call it?
What'd you say? Sorry.
I said, are you done with the whole Drake Nugent big up?
Nugent dig up of film?
No, big up. Like you're big up in him.
I mean, I don't know what more I could say about him without going like a 30-minute breakdown of like every little thing he does perfectly well, and this is not the time nor place for that.
Okay. Well, moving on, then I guess we could just talk about the surprising cut candidates who, other than Drake Nugent. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, he's
joking.
genuine. No, but he's also genuinely a cut candidate.
Okay, well, surprising cut candidate though.
I think he is a surprising one. To be fair, I won't say him here. It's my answer.
Who are some of your surprising cut candidates for the 49ers?
I'm gonna say this, and I'm being totally realistic here. I'm gonna look in the camera when I say this. 49ers, please do not cut Mr. Christian McCaffrey so he can come to Denver. Do not cut McCaffrey. I know he's a horrible football player. Keep Christian McCaffrey on your roster. I do not want him here in Denver. But you can cut that Fred Warner guy if you want. You know, any of those guys, Debo, Ayuk, Greenlaw, Kittle. But on a more real note.
Oh, that wasn't real?
Surprising. Depends. Is Robbie Chosen surprising?
No.
I mean, honestly, it's a boring answer. I thought that said Chuba Hubbard for a second. I was like, why the fuck is he playing left tackle for the fucking 49ers? Surprising wise, I don't know if there really is a surprising guy. Like, I guess the game I'll throw out there, even though I don't think he'll end up getting cut, is Yuta Gross-Matos.
Oh, Yetur Gross-Matos?
Yeah.
I thought he was on the Panthers.
He went to the 49ers this offseason.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, otherwise, it's a bunch of young guys who haven't really played.
Nothing really surprising.
It's the 49ers.
Yeah.
They're the least surprising team in football.
That's fair. I'd say the surprising cut candidate for the Saints.
Since you did some last week, is there any others you could add?
Okay, the one that I said last week was Kendre Miller.
Yeah.
I would say my other one. My you know what? Fuck it. All right. I'm going to push this agenda, and I've been pushing this agenda for a very long time. By a very long time, I mean about 3 weeks. Ever since DA called out Kendre Miller for being injured, he's never called out Peyton Turner, who's never had a clean season ever. He's only ever had 1 or 2 games before he goes and gets injured. Last season, he played 1 game against the Titans, got injured in that game. And you know what? He was like a big, surprise candidate for a lot of people because he was doing pretty well. And he got injured. So, again, the reason that this is surprising to me is because DA has yet to call him out. And, I heard a really good point earlier from a streamer that I was watching that talks about the Saints as well. Shout out to Caden. I don't know if you're watching this, but he said that it's, after the coach calls you out, it's pretty much done. Like you gotta make something shake or else it's done. So the thing about Peyton Turner is that he hasn't been called out yet. And he's been in the exact same situation that DA is putting on Kendre Miller. Like, pretty much saying it's hard to make the team when you're injured. Peyton Turner is always injured. He finds a way to get injured. And if he hasn't done it yet, which he hasn't, he will. Give him any time to play. I would almost bet a lot of money that he's going to get injured sometime in the next 2 weeks. And I don't wish that on him, but all evidence is to the contrary of that. So
It's how the cookie crumbles.
that's just how his cookie crumbles. Pause. So yeah. My surprising cut candidate for this week is Peyton Turner. Because they also declined his 5th-year option. He was the first-round pick 4 years ago. And that's why it makes it shocking as well, is because I always want to give your first-round pick a chance to bounce back, right?
Not really. I mean, the Commanders declined Chase Young's.
Well, yeah. They also traded him.
Yeah. Which I still think is bizarre to me. I still think he's one of the better ends in football. He just has he has an effort issue.
Yeah, and I think that came a lot with going from such a shitty team that you would never win with, to a team that you won with. You know, I feel like he did nothing on the group project and got an A. Well, A-. They lost the Super Bowl. But, yeah. I feel like when there's not really a guy in San Francisco other than Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
Who's gonna kick you into high gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Bosa, I mean, like you're with Bosa, he is like you're backing him up. So, because I believe Chase Young was his backup, right?
Whose?
Or did he rush opposite of him, Nick Bosa?
He rushed opposite.
Well,
he was supposed to.
And
then he stopped. He had effort issues, so they benched his ass.
Yeah. There's someone like Cam Jordan that's going to kick you into high gear. You know, he's been a leader for a long time. Despite, his production not being the same, he's still the same leader that he was, what's it called? That he's been for the longest time now. So, I mean, if there's anyone that's going to turn him and it's going to, start his engine, it's going to be Cam Jordan. That sounded so weird.
Ayo.
Yeah, Peyton Turner is my surprising cut candidate for those reasons. Moving on. Let's talk more about the game. And 49ers, like last week, you said I probably shouldn't ask this question, but I'm going to anyway.
Yeah, I know.
What's the keys to victory for 49ers here? How do they win this game?
You ready? It's going to sound completely different.
Okay.
The keys are different now. Just get the rookies to play, get the young guys to play so they can get some experience. Because there's practice tape and there's game tape.
Yep.
The key to victory for the 49ers is not winning the game. It's continuing to figure out who your 53 are for the year.
Okay.
And who your practice squad guys are the year.
I feel like that's the key to victory for the entire preseason for everyone. But
yeah,
again, right now the Saints are playing for something bigger, and that is installing an offensive system. So, and it's same with the backups and the rookies. They're playing to win because a lot of these backups, they're not going to get this time to play in the regular season. So, let's see what else. I think that starters need to play probably a quarter, at least another quarter, in the preseason before I can really say that's enough. Because again, when you did as bad as you did and you looked as flat as you did in that first week against a second-team defense, and not to mention one of the worst second-team defenses, that's when you start to question what needs to be done. And to figure that out, you're going to have to play them a little bit more. I think Trevor Penning needs all the reps he can get. If you're going to stick with him, throw Trevor Penning out there. But in terms of finding a an advancement in your progress, I'd say just do better than last week. If the starters play, get more than one first down. Maybe drive down the field, even if you don't get a touchdown. That's a little bit more encouraging than what we saw week previous. So do that. And for the defense, just keep doing what you're doing. Y'all look phenomenal, right? Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. And for the rest of the game, I'd say just like you said, figure out the rest of the 53 and where people belong.
Yeah.
And finally, our favorite part of
depending on the week, it's your least favorite part.
Yeah, either my favorite or your favorite part of the episode. It's time. Let me pull this up.
I'm what? 8
See,
and 1?
I knew I was forgetting something earlier.
8-1 now.
You're,
8-1 or 7-1?
You're 7-1. Let's pull this up real quick.
7-1. Because your boy last week got it right.
Mm-hmm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, up on the screen right now is the ESPN Bet website, where you'll see the money line, the spread, and the over-under for Saints 49ers. Now, I believe last week we both went over, and we were both wrong. But however, in terms of picks, you are 7-1, and we both picked the Saints to win that game, and they won. So you're now 7-1. I'm not even gonna say what my record is because
no, I gotta know what it is. Oh,
you know.
I want it. You don't. If you don't know, then I can't know.
I don't know. I didn't keep track. Anyway, so as you can see right now, the money line is even. Saints at -110, 49ers at -110. The spread is Saints favored by 1, 49ers underdog by 1, with the over-under at 38.5. Now I'm going to say mine's first since yours is a, more grand reveal considering you're, 95% accurate.
I'm telling you right now, I'm missing this one.
You think so?
Yeah, I have a bad feeling.
I'm going to say under 38.5.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say it really just depends on how deep that, that defensive line of the 49ers is. You know what? All bias inside the chariot right now. I'm going to say Saints game spread by 1, which would automatically, be my pick for money line as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Saints winning this game with the final score being 20-17.
You ready?
Let's hear it.
I'm going to keep it simple.
Okay.
With a final score of 17-10, therefore hitting the under,
Okay.
The Saints win.
Okay.
I think 49ers are hurting. I think a lot of the depth, I think Saints backups are better.
Okay.
Just period. Like, you guys will end up closing the game with probably Rattler again, if I had to guess.
I have no idea how that's going to go.
Like, last week they lost, the 49ers lost, and they had a pretty solid guy finishing the game named Josh Dobbs.
Right.
I just think preseasons isn't the 49ers thing.
That's fair.
Which, I mean, like, who can, if we're talking about how good you are on the preseason, then there's something probably wrong with your team.
Fair.
So I'm gonna just keep it short. I'm gonna keep it simple.
You're saying Saints win 17-10
Yep.
under. All right. Well,
I also feel bad
unfortunately-
about that pick. I feel
Why?
like this. I have something inside me tells me the 49ers are winning this game 27-7.
Pick 'em.
I'm going with the Saints 70-10, but I'm gonna be pissed at myself when that scores 27-7. 49ers.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll see. Unfortunately, but fortunately, you're not going to be here next week. I got my guy Cass joining us, so whenever I see you again, maybe for week 1,
Who do you guys play week 1?
Panthers. I'm gonna look around for a Panthers guy.
I'd start that earlier than later.
Yeah, I'm gonna start that. I have to anyway because I'm going to New Orleans that Friday before, so I'll probably ask around like after the Titans game. So yeah, Caleb, thank you for joining.
Of course.
As always, his links will be in the description below. Follow him on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, whatever's down there. It's all going to be down there.
W's.
Video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe and turn on those notifications for all future Saints content and behind enemy lines and hype video and Spencer Rattler game-winning drives because I know there's going to be a lot of those in the future. So yeah, that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for live reactions. Bye-bye.